Let's say a person comes in with migraine headaches. First question, when did the headaches begin? The person thinks for a minute and they say it began, they name a date. It began 5 years ago, 8 years ago, 13 years ago, whenever. Second question, what was going on in your life back then, just before these headaches began? Suddenly the person starts recollecting, tears come to their eyes, and they say, so-and-so died. A son, a daughter, a husband, a parent, somebody close. When did your headaches begin? They began 3 months later. Uh-oh, here we have a correspondence. We had a terrible shock, a grief, and the headaches start to become. Then we go on to other things. What sort of foods do you like? Those of you who've been with me know that I ask about foods. Let's say the person says, I really like salt. I salt my food, I like potato chips or pretzels or popcorn, and I like bread. Then we go to other things, the atmosphere. How do you react to certain weather? Well, the thing I can't stand, doctor, is the sun. The bright sun, when it's hot out there, I get a headache often in 15, 20 minutes. All right, now let's look at this, the totality. We've got the grief, unresolved. We've got headaches, and headaches worse from exposure to the sun. We've got a salt craving and a bread craving. And maybe we've got a lot of other things too. But those symptoms point to a certain homeopathic medicine. Now, if the medicine is correct, when you see them again, say 4 weeks later, whenever, 6 weeks, whatever it is, not only should their headaches be far fewer and far less severe, but the grief should be much diminished and perhaps gone. And when you ask about salt, they say, funny thing you ask, I don't seem to want salt much anymore. All right? So how do you explain this thing? This is based on any physiology known to modern medicine. It's not explainable. It's not really explainable. How can something affect salt metabolism, sun sensitivity, grief, and headaches all in one fell swoop? We don't know either, but we know it happens and people get better.
What's the medicine prescribed?
That medicine is called natrum muriaticum, which is, you won't believe it, salt in a small dose. You take actual sodium chloride and make it into a potentized medicine. Thanks for asking. Now I'm going to mention how we make the medicines. So let's say it's salt. So you pour some salt into some water. It's a saturated salt solution and fully saturated. You take a drop, 1 drop of the salt, and you put it in a vial. Little 2-dram vial or whatever size vial, let's say it's a 2-dram vial, and you add 9 drops of water, purified water. You put a cork in or a cap on, and then with the vial tucked into your fist, you start doing this, hitting it against an object, a big book, a dictionary, your knee, your hand. We call that succussion. That's a word only homeopaths use. S-U-C-C-U-S-S, to succuss. Means to hit something where it stops suddenly, mixes it, and in some way we don't understand, seems to energize the substance. Step 1. Step 2, a fresh vial right next to it. Out of vial 1, we take 1 drop, put it in vial 2, add 9 drops of water, cork it, succuss it again 20 times, and then we go to a 3rd vial, repeat it, a 4th vial, 5th vial, 6th vial. By the 6th vial, we have 1/1,000,000th of the original substance. Now, sometimes we dilute 1 to 100. We add 99 drops of water. It's another way of doing it. Adds up to the same thing pretty much. And we dilute until they're beyond the level at which there are any molecules. So what we have at the end is some sort of vibration, some sort of vibratory something in this water. And that's what we give to people by mouth. And now, how does it work? Okay, we don't know exactly how it works, but Hahnemann postulated the vital force. He said the vital force was a dynamic, and he meant by dynamic something insubstantial, not visible, not measurable, energy or force field, which surrounds and interpenetrates the physical body. Like a glove, but three-dimensional. Okay, if you can imagine, sometimes you see on these television and these where they do a mock-up of a body and it looks three-dimensional, that kind of a thing. Only it's an energy body or energy force field that surrounds and interpenetrates. It's a duplicate. We think it's like a duplicate of the physical body, and they're tightly in correspondence with each other. Now, Hahnemann said when people fall ill, or even if they fall ill from a trauma, not only is the physical body affected, but this vital force is also affected. The vital force is no longer in good shape. It's no longer flowing. The energy is no longer flowing freely without obstruction. There's like kinks in the energy. This is my word. I don't know exactly how to explain it. Now, the homeopathic medicine, which is also on this dynamic, insubstantial plane, this energy plane, when it corresponds well with the symptoms, it goes in and removes the disturbance from the vital force. Once the vital force is freed of this disturbance, it then is exerting healing good energy down toward the physiological and biochemical body, and it gets better. Now, when there are disturbances in the vital force, which there always are, they are manifested through symptoms. A symptom is, doctor, I feel numbness, I feel tingling, I feel pain, I feel a burning. These are symptoms. I feel afraid, I feel sad. These are all symptoms. So we postulate that symptoms are signposts and will lead us to the correct medicine. Symptoms are something to be relied on, to be looked at with appreciation and understanding, because they lead us to the correct medicine. Now, think of conventional medicine or allopathy. Symptoms are the bad guys. We want to get rid of the bad guys. You got a migraine headache, here's a medicine that's going to take away your pain. It's going to decrease your pain through chemicals. Okay, you get over the headache. A week later you got another one, or a day later, or a month later, whatever. Again you take the analgesic. Again you get some relief. Again you get another migraine. You go through life like that. That is not a cure. Regular medicine does not have a very good track record of curing chronic disease.